Hello and welcome to your news and features electronic magazine that centers on the different facets of motoring. Now on its 34th year, this is Motoring Today. I'm Ray Louis Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for.
On Motoring Forum, we shall discuss the significance of LTO's newly opened district office, our road safety reminder on the Young Street Smart Portion Centers on the proper use of headlights while driving at night. This week's Payong Tuper shall be about wearing a proper uniform of PUV drivers. The public service segment centers on online fixers offering LTO services. Showcase this week shall have the sports sedan from Kia, the Stinger 3.3 Twin Turbo GT. While for race weekend, we'll talk about Philippine motorsports shift to online racing amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are in this week's edition of Motoring Today. Join us.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management.
The Cavitex Infrastructure Corporation, or CIC, a subsidiary of Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation, is not about to let the COVID-19 pandemic affect its timeline for completion of segments of the Cavitex C5 Link Expressway. Preparatory work has begun at Segment 3A2 along the Manila International Airport Authority area, as well as the ground improvement work for Segment 2, a 1.9-kilometer 2x3 lane expressway from Cavitex Expressway to a proposed interchange at Sucat. Segment 3A2 is a 1.6-kilometer 2x3 lane expressway from Merville to RSG subdivision in Parañaque. CIC aims to complete construction and open to motorists both segments 2 and 3 by the second quarter of 2022, when it is expected to serve 50,000 cars daily and reduce travel time from Las Piñas, Parañaque and the Cavitex to Makati and Taguig from the average of an hour to just around 10 minutes. Bobby Bontia, CIC President and General Manager, said they are doubling efforts on the construction of Segment 2 and Segment 3A2 while complying with government directives on health protocols to ensure the safety of around 200 workers undertaking the build in shifts 24/7. Webinars are the in thing in these COVID-19 days, and in a recent one hosted by the Iloilo Business Club, DOTR Assistant Secretary for Road Transport and Infrastructure Mark Steven Pastor spoke on the theme, towards a modern, safe, and efficient transportation system in the Philippines. Speaking on behalf of DOTR Secretary Arthur Tagade, ASEC Pastor presented initiatives and programs undertaken by the DOTR to achieve a safe and efficient transportation system in the country, with the added challenge of doing so amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. The Assistant Secretary laid out the completed, ongoing, and pipeline transport infrastructure programs projects and initiatives in 4 transport sectors: railways, aviation, and airports, road transport and infrastructure, and maritime. All these are aimed towards recovery and economic development while fulfilling the President's mandate to make life for Filipinos more comfortable, said ASEC Pastor. The programs are aimed at significantly improving mobility and connectivity. Other buzzwords pervading DOTR pronouncements are interoperability and innovation. And at the end of the day, ASEC Pastor said the DOTR will continue to fast-track the delivery of various infrastructure projects while ensuring the safety of the riding public. During the press conference, DOTR Undersecretary for Railways TJ Batan explained why the railway sector is being prioritized, saying light rail transits and railway systems provide among the highest capacity for mass land transport and the most efficient. PNR General Manager June Magno said construction of the PNR Clark Phase 1 from Tutuban in Manila to Malolos in Bulacan is 43% complete as of January 2021. Partial operations of new facilities are expected by the 4th quarter of 2021, with full operations starting in the 2nd quarter of 2024. DOTR Railway Sector Project Development Officer Ana Tayag expects partial operations of the LRT1 Cavite Extension Project package to start in the 4th quarter of this year. LRT2 spokesperson Hernando Cabrera said that the LRT2 East Extension Project from the Marikina Station to Antipolo Station will be inaugurated on April 26, 2021 and commence partial operations the next day. DOTR Assistant Secretary for Project Implementation, Mindanao Cluster Amard Edge said the Tagum, Davao, Vigo segment of the Mindanao Railway Project Phase 1 is targeted to be partially operable in March of 2022. USEC Batan said the MRT-7 will be partially operational in December 2021 and fully operational by December 2022, adding that tunnel boring for the Metro Manila Subway project will start in the 3rd quarter of 2021. There was a lot of birthing pains when the DOTR the LTO finally got around to authorizing private motor vehicle inspection centers, or PMVICs, to certify the roadworthiness of vehicles up for registration. Complaints about astronomical fees, damage to vehicles due to raw procedures, test results that defy science, etc. deluged social media, which were picked up by traditional media. The noise apparently reached the president, who then ordered that PMVIC testing should not be made mandatory. This led to confusion about what happens to PMVICs, what tests are required for registration, and whether the LTO has issued memorandums to comply with the presidential directive. In the wake of this confusion, the DOTR and LTO issued a statement clarifying issues and answering questions from critics like Senator Grace Poe, who asked whether or not the DOTR and the LTO issued memorandums or circulars to put the presidential directive into effect. In the statement, the DOTR said an official LTO memorandum dated February 11, 2021 was issued specifically directing LTO regional directors and personnel concerned to ensure the strict implementation of the President's order to make vehicle inspection from PMVICs non-mandatory, as well as the directive of the DOTR on lowered PMVIC inspection fees. It also cited presidential spokesperson Harry Roque's clarification announcement made last February 12, stating that what is not mandatory is the inspection through a PMVIC, not the vehicle inspection itself. The February 11 memorandum said that since the GAOR of PMVICs have been withdrawn and inspection by them no longer mandatory and therefore optional, inspections may again be performed by LTO inspectors and emission testing conducted by PETCs. The LTO indicated that owners have the option to have their vehicle certified for roadworthiness by PMVICs or just pass emission tests from private emission testing centers and have their vehicles checked for roadworthiness by LTO personnel.
Those are the latest news and developments in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. The LTO has established a new district office in Carmona, Cavite. The DOTR sees this as a significant development for both the agency and the province. Motoring Forum discusses why.
Establishing a new government district office in a central location is always a significant development. Establishing one during a pandemic that, for a time, locked up whole communities, shut down the economy, and paralyzed transport makes it even more important. The LTO did just that last month with the inauguration of a district office in Carmona, Cavite. The Carmona district office is located at the Macaria Business Center in Barangay Mabuhay. The location is important as it lies in an area that has seen an exponential growth in residential subdivisions, which comes with an exponential growth in the number of private vehicle owners best served by an LTO district office. The timing of the opening of the LTO Carmona District Office is also important as it shows how the DOTR and its line agencies have been steadfast in continuing development event in a pandemic. During the inauguration, LTO Chief Edgar Galvante said it is very fortunate that even with the ongoing pandemic crisis we are experiencing, we are still given the opportunity to continuously serve our clients. We are especially delighted that through this event, our agency's commitment to effectively implement various transportation laws, rules, and regulations continue being transformed to concrete realities. The significance of the inauguration of a new district office in a strategic area is emphasized by the attendance of DOTR Secretary Arthur Tugade himself. In his speech, Secretary Tugade said he was there to show that he shares the aims and steps being undertaken by the LTO under its Chief Assistant Secretary Ed Galvante. The Transport Secretary also exhorted the officers and rank and file of the new LTO district to establish a culture of honest and efficient public service. While we inaugurate this building, alalahanin natin na walang silbi ang gusali. Hindi ito magtatagal kung ang mga taong nasa loob ay walang culture, values, and ways of doing things, he said. Secretary Tugade said he wanted only to see two things happen at the district office. Dapat walang korupsyon dito. Ang korupsyon ay nagiging bahid sa ating bayan. Pangalawa, iksiyan natin ang mga proseso para masunod natin ang ating Pangulo na huwag pahirapan ang mga Pilipino, he said. The importance of the inauguration of the LTO Carmona District Office was also shown by the attendance of important personages of the municipality of Carmona and the province of Cavite, as well as the influential members of the private sector. These included Cavite 4th District Representative Dalia Loyola, Carmona Mayor Roy Loyola, Global Lighting Philippines Economic Consultant Henry Ting, and Philip Santos of PRGR Incorporated. Also in attendance were LTO Regional Office 4 Regional Director Norin Luis Lutey and Assistant Regional Director April Casabuena. The job of leading the new LTO District Office and ensuring it fulfills the mandate set forth by Secretary Tugade and LTO Chief Galvante falls on Carmona District Office Chief Lynn Gutierrez.
The DOTR and its line agencies have been quite active, with plans and schemes to improve its services for its clients, motorists, public transport operators, commuters, even under restrictions forced up the nation by the COVID-19 pandemic. Some are even saying that DOTR is now seeing the pandemic as an opportunity to fast-track some of its programs. That's our Motoring Forum this week, courtesy of Suzuki Philippines.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
Montero Sport. Elevate your journey.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
You are back with us here on Motoring Today. In line with our lifelong commitment to promote road safety, here is this week's road safety tip in cooperation with Toyota Motor Philippines.
If you are on a main road, make sure na ang headlights na iyong sasakyan ay naka-low beam sa tuwing meron kang makakasulubong na sasakyan. Your high beams can distract another driver, kaya mas maganda kung ang iyong headlights ay naka-low beam upang malinaw na magkakitaan at hindi maaksidente.
Continuing with this week's edition of Motoring Today, let's now focus on proper driver's demeanor, especially for those driving PUVs. From Mitsubishi Motors Philippines, here's Payong Chuper this week.
Payong Chuper lang, kaibigan. Ako si Ka Jojo Martin, isang kapwa nyo chuper, maging maayos sa pananamit tuwing papasada.
Kung gusto natin makarami ng pasahero, gawin nating presentable ang ating mga sarili sa tuwing tayo ay magmamaneho. Ugaliing isuot ang uniform ng samahan ng iyong kinabibilangan kapag papasada sa daan. Iwasang magsuot ng mga pambahay na damit katulad ng sando at tsinelas kung ayaw mo ang pasahero ang magalit at umiwas.
Tandaan, kapag maayos ang kasuotan, pasahero ay iyong kaibigan. Ito po si Ka Jojo Martin, payong tsuper lang kaibigan, mula sa isang kapwa niyo tsuper.
Your city is about to change. Are you ready? Ready to rise? Ready to rock? Ready to go? Ready for more? Ready to rule the city. The all-new Honda City. Ready to rule.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. I will now give you Race Weekend. The COVID-19 pandemic shut down the 2020 local motorsport season just as it was about to begin. All throughout the said year, no local race on track or dirt, for that matter, was held. Still, the urge to race was there. There is e-racing. 2020 may be remembered as the lost season for local motorsport. After a truly active 2019 season for grassroots and intermediate racing, local motorsports was gearing up for another busy and exciting year. But then, global COVID-19 pandemic struck. Communities were locked down, the economy was paralyzed. All forms of sport and leisure activities where social or physical distancing can be enforced were suspended, including motorsports. Still, racing enthusiasts cannot deny their need for speed, the thrill of the race, the joy of competition, as participant or spectator. Like many other things in the time of COVID-19, people turned to the digital world, online working, online shopping, online entertainment, online sports, even motorsports. Among the first to shift to e-motorsports was Tuason Racing, the country's premier professional racing school and organizer of such racing series and events as the Formula V1 Challenge and the Toyota Vios Racing Festival. This was first announced during their 21st anniversary celebration. Early in the lockdown, Tuason Racing partnered with Phoenix Petroleum to hold a series of virtual races that aim to provide e-racers and other racing enthusiasts a venue to continue enjoying motorsports competitions while helping out frontliners in the fight against COVID-19. The series was called Race for Frontliners, encouraging participants to donate funds and food packs for frontliners. The e-racing series is also part of the Phoenix Pulse Young Drivers Program, a search for aspiring drivers in the sim racing platform to compete in the international esports arenas like the FIA Games. Over 4 rounds, the Race for Frontliners drew scores of participants competing in virtual time trials and races on Gran Turismo Sport using the PlayStation 4 platform. The top finishers in the 4 rounds qualified for the semifinal and championship rounds held on June 15. In an exciting final championship race watched on Facebook Live by motorsports enthusiasts or Zoom parties or conferences, Inigo Anton emerged as champion, with Russell Cabrera in second and Corban Guerrero in third. The series also raised over 400,000 pesos for frontliners. Also shifting to e-racing is the Philippine Rallycross Series, with COVID-19 pandemic putting a stop to preparations for a big year of rallycross competition, organizers decided to keep the fires burning for racing on dirt with online races. Philippine Rallycross organizers partnered with Dominado e-Motorsports Rally to host the Philippine e-Rally Series. Participants competed online on Dirt Rally 2.0 on both PlayStation 4 and PC platforms. The series generated a lot of interest among rallycross regulars and other motorsports enthusiasts. And another major e-motorsports series just got off to a great start. Tiolo Motor Philippines has tapped who else? Tuason Racing to help it run the 2020 GR Supra GT Asia Cup Philippines. The COVID-19 pandemic forced Toyota to cancel the 2020 Vios Racing Festival. To continue propagating the wakudoki spirit among local motorsports enthusiasts, Toyota decided on replacing the festival with e-racing competition that will determine who will represent the Philippines in the GR Supra GT Cup Asia to be held later this year. The first of 3 rounds drew over 100 entries, from professional or experienced e-racers competing in the sporting class, to e-race enthusiasts and beginners in the promotional class. The series also drew a number of local motorsport stars trying their hand at racing in the digital world. Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom are now venues for watching motorsports, at least the digital kind. F1 and MotoGP have managed to hold real races this year, albeit with stands empty of fans. Local motorsports can't afford the kind of testing and other necessities needed to keep racers in a bubble safe from COVID-19. So local motorsports enthusiasts will have to make do with digital races. E-racing should help local motorsports keep interest in racing from flagging, at least until the time when authorities allow racing on real racetracks and dirt tracks, to resume. Meanwhile, let's all support e-racing too. And that's this week's World of Motorsports. Motoring Today continues right after this break.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
Introducing the all-new Isuzu D-Max into new heights.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Let's now take a look at what's happening in the local auto industry.
The all-new BMW 4 Series Coupe has finally arrived on local shores. SMC Asia Car Distributors Corporation, official importer and distributor of BMW in the Philippines, brought in just 2 variants, the 420i Model Advantage and the 420i M Sport. Both have thick 2-door coupe profile of the old Z4 but just a bit longer, wider, taller, and with a longer wheelbase, 4,768mm by 1,852mm by 1,383mm and 2,851mm. And of course, there's the controversial new grille. Large, vertically emphasized BMW kidney grille, angled forward and extending down almost to the lower edge of the front apron. Only one engine choice is available locally, a gasoline-sipping 2.0-liter BMW twin-power turbo 4-cylinder with an 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission in the Model Advantage and the Steptronic Sport in the M Sport variant. The engine develops 184 horsepower and 300 Nm of torque. There are differences in trim levels, with the 420i M Sport getting more in terms of sporty elements like the M leather steering wheel, interior trim finishers in aluminum tetragon, and M seat belts. Both share BMW's Live Cockpit Plus, which comprises the iDrive control operation system with 8.8-inch control display and a touch controller, a black panel instrument cluster centered around a 5.1-inch color display, multimedia and navigation systems, and 2 USB ports. Both also come with BMW's innovative parking assistant, allowing automatic assisted parking in spaces that are either parallel or perpendicular to the road. The all-new BMW 420i Model Advantage is priced at 3,990,000 pesos. The BMW 420i M Sport variant is priced at 4,590,000 pesos. Both come with a 5-year or 200,000 kilometer manufacturer's warranty, a new standard in the premium automotive segment in the Philippines. Automakers and distributors have now gotten to the point of being comfortable hosting group test drive events. Among those now hosting such events, unthinkable just a few months before under community quarantine protocols brought on by the pandemic, is Honda Cars Philippines. Honda invited a group of motoring journalists to test drive variants of the all-new City in the bustling streets of Metro Manila to the winding roads in Tanay and Antipolo City, Rizal. Honda said this test drive was meant to give motoring journalists a first-hand experience of the all-new City's comfort, power, fuel efficiency, and advanced technologies. Driving in the city streets simulated the experience of regular morning commute, which highlighted the subcompact sedan's efficient and responsive drivetrain. The winding Marilaki Highway of Tanay tested the capabilities of the city's 1.5-liter DOHC i-VTEC engine and continuously variable transmission, as well as its handling on uphill climbs and fast downhill corners. Throughout the day-long road trip, participants also got to enjoy the city's array of advanced technology features, including a new 8-inch touchscreen display that supports Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and WebLink connectivity. Prior to the drive, Honda conducted antigen testing on all participants and ensured extensive vehicle disinfection procedures. Does the local market need or have room for another multi-purpose vehicle competing for attention in an already saturated market? Legado Motors Inc. believes it does, officially launching the all-new GAC GN6, a 7-seater MPV that was first launched in, of all places, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. GAC believes the GN6, with its sharp and elegant exterior, will get good reception from Filipino families looking for an MPV for the family. The GN6 comes with a roomy interior that features 2 captain seats in the second row, with the middle aisle making it easy to get into the third row of seats for 3. It comes with a 7-inch instrument panel, an 8-inch LCD infotainment display with Bluetooth connectivity, and a 6-speaker system. Powering the GN6 is a 1.5-liter turbocharged inline-4 Euro 5 compliant engine that generates 170 horsepower and 265 Nm of torque. Legado Motors says the GN6 comes with most of the new smart and driver assist technologies sought after in high-end MPVs, including, among other things, remote keyless entry and ignition system, traction control, hill ascent and descent controls, a rear-view camera, parking sensors. The all-new GAC GN6 is priced at 1.48 million pesos and comes with a 5-year or 150,000 kilometers warranty. Since 1850, when Peugeot began as an automotive brand, the company has redesigned its logo 11 times. The latest, the 11th, has just been unveiled, a coat of arms adorned with a magnificent lion's head. Peugeot describes the new logo as even more streamlined, more qualitative, and more elegant. The French automotive manufacturer says the old logo launched in 2010 needed to be changed to reflect the brand's move upmarket and keep pace with its products. The unveiling of the new logo comes at a time when Peugeot is launching a new range of vehicles, starting off with the 308, the launch of a new website, and the establishment of Stellantis, a multinational, multi-brand auto manufacturer of which Peugeot is a part of. With the new logo comes Peugeot's first brand campaign in 10 years, defined by the tagline, "The Lions of Our Time." Through this international campaign, Peugeot aims to empower the customers to own their most valuable asset, their time. Peugeot adds that the campaign celebrates today's lions, those who are no longer so much in search for power or money, but more in a quest for quality time. At the same time, Peugeot says the new website makes selling cars online part of the online dealership. The new website's features allow you to do everything that you would normally do at the point of sale, but online: discovery, configuration, sale, contracts, financing, trade-in, etc., said Peugeot.
Motoring Today now brings you our Car of the Week on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. In a world now seemingly dominated by crossovers and SUVs, is there still a market for a rear-wheel drive, 5-seater, 4-door fastback? That is what you have in this edition of Showcase, the Kia Stinger 3.3 twin-turbo GT.
So you want a 4-door sedan that can seat 4 or even 5 comfortably in a luxuriously appointed cabin, but can also provide the high-performance driving experience that only powerful rear-wheel drive cars allow. Then maybe the Kia Stinger 3.3 twin-turbo GT is for you. Taking up space that's 4,830 millimeters long, 1,870 millimeters at its widest point, and just 1,400 millimeters at its highest. The Stinger features the low sloping rear line and longish hood and the silhouette of a typical fastback or liftback. It sits low on the ground, just 130mm gap to street level. With the Stinger, Kia is venturing into muscle car territory, which may spark some debate from purists among car enthusiasts. But there shouldn't be any argument that it deserves the GT or Gran Turismo label from looks to performance. The Stinger is unmistakably a Kia with the signature Tiger grille. It has a muscular stance and a long 2,905mm wheelbase. It's got a wider track in the rear than the front, which speaks volumes of its sports car performance intentions. The signature 19-inch alloy wheels looks especially cool and sporty with the Brembo disc brakes, advertising themselves. 4 piston calipers with 13.8-inch discs in the front, and 2 piston calipers with 13.4-inch discs in the rear. The wheels are wrapped by low-profile tires, wider in the rear than the front, 255/35 R19s to 225/40 R19s. These Stinger exterior elements blends the latest functionality with sporty, elegant styling. These include, among others, the bifunction projection LED headlamps with dynamic bending, LED daytime running lights, dark chrome-coated side view mirrors that adjust and fold electronically, are heated and come with puddle lights and integrated turn signals, and the Aero rain sensing windshield wiper. Also adding to sporty and elegant functionality in the Stinger are rear spoilers with high-mount LED stop lamp, LED rear combination lights, dark chrome quad exhaust pipes. Adding more than a touch of sport to the Stinger are the air curtain and aero fender garnish integrated onto the front bumper design and the rear integrated diffuser. The elegant sporty styling with high-tech functionality is carried over into the Stinger cabin, which one gets into using the smart entry system. These low-slung leather seats with the oversized hide cushions hug driver and front seat passenger and should keep them in place in spirited driving. Aside from 8-way power adjustment, the driver and front seat passenger benefits from 4-way lumbar support and cooling and heating function. The cabin features aluminum trim on the dashboard. The instrumentation features standard tachometer and speedometer, as well as a 7-inch multifunction display. Quite notable are the aircraft-inspired front air vents for the dual-zone automatic air conditioning system, which also comes with rear air vents. The shift knob and the tilt and telescopic 3-spoke steering wheel are both wrapped in leather, with the steering wheel featuring added functions. Among other Stinger interior features are power windows, central door locks, electronic parking brake with auto hold. The infotainment system features an 8-inch touchscreen, AM/FM radio, CD and MP3 player, both USB and aux ports, Bluetooth, voice recognition, as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, Harman Kardon speakers, and mobile phone wireless charging. The 3,342cc V6 gasoline engine with twin turbochargers and dual CVVT generates 510 Nm of torque from 1,300 to 4,500 RPM. Kia claims a V6 engine that is mated to an 8-speed automatic shift-by-wire transmission can motivate the Stinger from 0 to 100 kph in 4.9 seconds. Top speed of the rear-wheel drive Stinger with its limited slip differential is placed at 270 kph. Drivers can choose from 5 drive modes using the round dial on the console depending on mood or circumstance. The Stinger suspension features front McPherson struts and stabilizer and multi-link system in the rear and comes with electronically controlled damping force. Kia also injected the Stinger with the latest driver assistance and safety technologies and systems. These include auto cruise control, blind spot detection, 360-degree around view monitoring system, and front and rear parking distance sensors. Included for safety are 3-point ELR seatbelts with pre-tensioner for 4 plus 2-point static seatbelts for the middle passenger in the second row, ISOFIX child anchor for rear seats, child lock, and front, side, curtain, and driver knee airbags. Standard safety features in the Stinger include anti-lock braking system, electronic stability control, hill start assist control, anti-theft system, and tire pressure monitoring system.
Kia says the Stinger has been designed and engineered to provide both high performance and supreme comfort to meet and surpass standards attached to the GT or Gran Turismo cars, those meant for both long and spirited driving. That's our featured vehicle on this week's showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
Drive worry-free with Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program. with a free 24-hour nationwide roadside assistance included with your comprehensive auto insurance. Rest assured, we'll take care of you and your car wherever you are. Prudential guarantees auto insurance program, 100% worry-free driving.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
We now have our public service segment brought to you by Honda Cars Philippines.
The COVID-19 pandemic has made almost, if not all, of what we do to shift to online platforms. Surprisingly, illegal workers such as fixers have moved there as well. While browsing on the social media app Facebook, a user posted a driver's license assistance service promising would-be drivers a convenient and no-hassle way of getting their first legal requirement to be able to drive on the road. The service is offering a professional and non-professional driver's license, and the user notes that this is legit and original. It also lists the following descriptions: with record, with receipt, 5-year validity, renewable, and can be verified at LTO or LTO substation. The requirements needed as stated are PSA or NSO birth certificate, 2x2 formal photo, signature of applicant, and left and right thumb fingerprints, which it says are optional. The user also said that there's no need for appearance and stressed that assistance fee is for the time, effort, and queuing one has to go through to get a license. Sounding very suspicious for me and knowing fully well that the LTO is going after fixers lurking even outside their offices, I asked ASIC Ed Calvante, the LTO chief himself, if this is legitimate. And his answer is, no, this is not, noting that this service is indeed that of a fixer. I even dared to ask for a statement reminding the public that behind social media posts like these are fixers and should not be believed and patronized. May this be a reminder of that.
That's our public service segment from Honda Cars Philippines. And should you encounter motoring problems that need immediate attention, please feel free to contact us. See the details being flashed on the screen. And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, don't forget to check us out on our social media accounts. Until next week here on Motoring Today, now in its 34th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. Stay healthy and be vigilant at all times. On behalf of my dad, Butch, and my sister Susie, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa. Happy motoring!